Hello, ladies and gentlemen,
Back.
and frogs.
It's only been a couple weeks, but we're back with episode 3, just like we always intended it to be.
Yep,
Took a couple weeks off in the middle, did some reflecting on ourselves, but we're back.
I'm a better person now. I just
I'm
want
worse.
everyone to know that.
I'm way worse after reflecting. Post-reflection me sucks. That's what I've learned.
No wonder I hate you now.
Hey, do you want to play a fun game of how many people listen to our podcast?
I would love to.
Would you like to say something?
Two people.
You think 2?
I'm
So here's
thinking
this-
2. I think we doubled our viewers. I think we have 2 whole listeners now.
So I checked it periodically, weeks ago.
Yeah.
Afterwards, right? So May 16th, that would have been episode 1, maybe, I think. Maybe episode 2. When did we start this?
Wow, you don't remember our anniversary? Tucker.
Yeah, May 17th. So on May 17th, there was 1 person. Okay?
Yeah, shout out
Then-
that person.
Episode 2 took a couple days, but by June 1st, we had 2 more downloads.
Yeah.
Then June 6th, so I'm trying to post the shorts and stuff, and I'm not doing as well as I wanted to. But I posted one last week, and on June 6th we had 3 more downloads.
No way. So
And
5 total?
And then another one a couple days later. So we're at 7 total for the last
What?
30 days of downloads.
For
that's huge
all of
for us.
our videos combined?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's pretty big. Yeah.
So this is what it's like to be a rock star.
So we're pretty famous now and kind of hit the big time. We're going to start selling out soon, I think.
I will
And
be
just
selling
kind
my
of-
bathwater. If
gonna
anyone's
start
interested.
That early? You're not going to wait a little bit more?
No,
No,
I'm
that's fair.
selling out immediately.
Yeah, that's all right. I meant to
OnlyFans
do
by month 1.
I meant to do this last week, John, and I forgot. Or sorry, not last week. The last time we recorded this show. How is your trilogy quest going?
Yes, Trilogy Quest. I rewatched a couple actually enjoyable ones. So
Nice.
Austin Powers made it
Yeah,
through
man.
that. That was sweet. Duolingo just told me to become an airline pilot. So
Whoa!
if
You should.
podcasting doesn't go anywhere.
Airline pilots next.
Yep. I watched the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy, which of course is Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End.
Oh yeah, I actually need to watch that.
That's another great one.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead's amazing. Hot
Yeah.
Fuzz is amazing. World's
Yeah.
End, pretty good.
Pretty good. Can't all be hits.
Let's see. I don't know if I talked about. I don't think I had seen The Kingsman at the time of last podcast,
I don't
but I
think so.
rewatched that trilogy too,
Nice.
and it's gotten worse in my mind.
What? The first one's so good though.
The first one's so good.
Okay.
I stand by that. Some of the best action sequences ever. That
The
church
first one's the
scene
only
is
one I've
insane.
seen right now. At this point in my life, I've only seen the first one, but I love it.
Then the second
All
one,
in.
action scenes really good still, but it's too much. Too much is going on,
Whoa.
and it's still okay
Yeah.
because of the action. And I guess if that's all you're here for in a movie, then go watch that one. But
Yeah.
ugh. And then The Kingsman is so bad.
Is that the newest one with Rasputin?
Yes, it's so bad. It's like it starts off a little Kingsman-y, setting up the Kingsman, and then it turns war drama for a bit,
Nice.
and
Love
then
a
it
little more
just
drama.
ends with the most uneventful, plain action sequence ever, and
Good. That's great.
it's just not a good movie. So
That's great, really.
yeah,
Have there been any real stinkers so far?
sorry. Lily from Duolingo's calling me.
Oh, you should answer.
Bien, you too? Oh, it was an ad.
Shoot. What?
What was your question?
Have there been any real stinkers?
Of trilogies or
Yeah.
movies I've seen lately in general?
Let's start with trilogies and then we can go to movies because it's been a minute.
Alright, of trilogies, the stinkers. Divergent sucks. I hate the Divergent movies. From what I remember, the books were good as a kid, but the movies suck. Escape Plan? Oh, so bad. The
Is
first
that
one's
in?
kind of fun because it's
Okay.
Schwarzenegger and Stallone just doing their thing, but ugh, it's just not good other than me enjoying the two of them.
Yeah.
Deep Blue Sea, I really like the first one.
Yeah.
The the sequels were like, huh, we actually got some viewers on these this first one. Let's make some sequels, but let's give them no budget and let's just not try at all.
Yeah.
And that happened. They made two more sequels and they suck.
Nice. 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 Nice.
I watched bottom five, bottom three movie for me of all time. I think I talked about this on an earlier one. Ace Ventura, Pet
Yeah.
Detective
Yeah. Yeah.
Jr.
Yeah.
Ugh,
We talked
just
about that stupid
the
little movie.
worst end to an enjoyable two movies. And then they just follow it up with that.
Sucks. Hate to see it.
Yeah. What about you? What have you been watching lately?
I watched through a couple weird TV shows. Couple like a one good one like okay one. I just started watching The Righteous Gemstones.
What is that?
It's a TV show about a mega church pastor and his family, but they're like insane. I'm only on episode 3. But the first one is like the first episode is that the one son in the mega church pastor family has like a video of him like doing cocaine with his friends and probably a hooker. And
Oh,
this guy blackmails him and is like, I'm gonna show the whole world unless you give me $1 million.
does he?
So it's like crazy. He does, and then when the guy comes out to get it, he like punches him, and then they go and get in their car, and then they run him over with his car. And then his like buddy comes out to check on him, and then they reverse, and she starts running away, and they reverse and hit her with the car also.
Oh, yeah,
Like it's
good.
a weird show.
Some good execution right there.
And then I watched Adults, which is a new show on Hulu that is executive produced by Nick Kroll. I do like Nick Kroll,
Star of Red
and
One.
yeah, star of Sing.
I'm out. Sing 2?
No, can't do sequels. That's gotta be cheating.
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
know anything else.
How was it? Oh, and there's a guy that I've watched on TikTok for years that was in it that just kind of popped up randomly. And I was like, oh, what are you doing here? And then Charlie Cox from Daredevil showed up in it, and I was like,
What?
what? And he was great. I really like that show. I hope it gets a second season. And then I watched TV wise. A24 had a show on Prime called Overcompensating, and it was fine. It's a
Did they
whole
overcompensate?
no, it was just like a whole lot of like sex stuff. Like it was pretty much all about sex.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, okay.
all right. Well, listeners, if you like sex, go check out
Go check out
Overcompensating.
Overcompensating. Movie wise, I have not watched that many movies since I watched Friendship 2 weeks ago. I watched the new Fear Street movie,
Oh, Prom
which is
Queen.
okay. I really like the first three actually because they're like pretty connected and it's really interesting. This one has no connection to the other three. It's just like set in the same town. And I thought that was
Huh?
really dumb, especially because they like reference things that have like reference things from like the past that aren't referenced in the other movies. But it's like, well, the last time your mother was at prom and she killed your dad and like all this stuff or whatever. And I was like, I'd watch that movie. That sounds interesting.
Hmm.
This is a
Have
way
you
better
not
movie than
seen
this
the
one.
ones before it?
I have, but this one's not connected to it. It's just set in the world of like Fear Street. So they're in like the same small town.
And
But
they
like the
reference things
story,
that you never saw?
yeah, the story they're referencing is not one of the movies. I looked it up, unless
Interesting.
I read the wrong thing, but I was like, is this connected? And they're like, no, it's not really connected to anything. It's just in the same town, which was upsetting a little bit. Um, I did go see the Phoenician Scheme
Don't
last
spoil
week.
that one yet. I haven't
I'm
seen
not
it
going
yet.
to. I will say this. This, I'm not 100% sure. I think I was asleep for like 2 minutes at the beginning, but it's also really hard to tell because the opening credits have all of like the actors in order of appearance, right? And I saw all of them. I didn't miss anyone. And I saw them like appear. Like it wasn't like, oh, he's on screen. How'd he get here? You know? Like I watched them meet. But there's also just sometimes I'll be like having a conversation in one place and then it changes cuts to a completely different place and the conversation still is happening. So I can't figure out if I was fully asleep and missed something important. I will say this, I have no idea what they're actually trying to do. I really liked it, but he's like going to these people for money and I was like, I don't know why. I have no idea why they're doing this. So I guess the 1 second I was actually asleep for, I missed him saying, "Oh, and by the way, we're going to get money for this reason." but I did like it. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's Wes Anderson, so it's like quirky,
I love Wes Anderson. So,
but I love Wes Anderson too. I'm saying it's a classic Wes Anderson. Better than Asteroid City for sure.
oh. Did it have a dancing roadrunner though?
No, but Bill Murray's in it.
I love Bill Murray.
Yeah, you love
I'm
Bill
glad
Murray.
he's back.
Yeah, he's so back. And I also watched Mountainhead, which was a weird HBO movie with, here's the thing, pretty good cast in this movie, okay? You got, don't make that face.
Mountain
Don't make
Head.
that face. The movie is like four people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jason Schwartzman, who I love, Steve Carell, who I love, the guy that played Chevy Chase in the Saturday Night Live movie, who I really like, and then the dude from Poor Things. His name's like Yuri or something, I think. I don't remember what his actual name is, but he's like Willem Dafoe's like assistant dude, I think. I think. I'm gonna pull up a picture of him.
Hmm.
One second. This is not. Okay, this is not a great audio bit. So can you talk about something exciting really quick?
Oh, should you maybe just cut the silence
No,
we had
I'm
there?
not going to. Talk.
Okay, anyway. Here's what I've been watching lately, other than those trilogies. I've gotten into a big 2025 movie kick.
Yeah, that's where I've been at.
So,
The
I
last
watched.
three movies I watched, 2025.
Well, I watched Snow White. Garbage.
Why'd you do that? Like, watch good ones.
I wanted to
or
see
ones you
how
have.
bad it was.
This guy.
Yes, him. I don't know his name.
Anywho, it's literally the whole movie. Four tech bros up in a house, and they're like the four richest. The one of them is like the richest dude in the world. The guy Chevy Chase is like the richest guy in the world, and
Jeff
but
Bezos.
his like AI company is being used to make fake terrorist attacks, and everyone's like freaking out about it because they can't tell what's real and what's fake. And then they talk about it for the whole movie.
Ah, wow.
And then they decide they're gonna kill the one guy because then they're like, "This is what John. Here's what happens in this movie." Okay, they're talking about this stuff. The president calls them and is like, "You guys gotta get this sorted out." And then Chevy Chase is like, "Guys, what if we just like take over the world with our AI?" And they're all like, "Yeah, we should do it." And then one guy's like, "I don't think we should do it." And then Steve Carell goes to the other two and is like, "This guy is a traitor. We should kill him." And then the other two are like, "Yeah, okay, you're right. We should do it." So then they try and kill this guy, and they end up failing. And then I think they all decide they don't like Steve Carell anymore, and Chevy Chase and him are friends again. It's so weird. But it's mostly they go from one room, they sit and talk in one room, and then they change locations, and they sit and talk in that room for a while, and then they change locations, and then they sit and talk. Like, it's so weird and like kind of like well done because all four of them are pretty good, but like it just is so random. So I was like, it's fine, but I have no desire to watch it again. And if no one else ever watches it again, fine by me. I'm not pushing for people to watch Mountainhead. But you watched Snow White. It sucked.
Side question: do you think people click on our podcast for like cleaning tips, and then we just talk about movies, and they're really disappointed?
I hope so. One can dream.
Good. Okay.
Whenever I look up spring cleaning on Spotify, usually I have to go through the link in our Instagram because when I just look up spring cleaning, it's a lot of like, or just like single episodes of podcasts, and I'm like, no, I would like the whole episode,
Yes,
the whole
our
podcast
whole
called spring
thing,
cleaning.
please. Our whole
But
shebang.
maybe one day ours will be up top, and then people have to go past our dumb thing to get to the cleaning stuff.
And apparently, 7 people have found ours, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
But
Snow White sucks.
after Snow White, I watched Last Breath about
Oh, that's the
divers.
Harrelson and Simu Liu and
Yeah, and
was
that
it?
one pretty good. It's
I
like
can't watch it. I don't think.
it's the typical of like that survival genre, of very
Yeah.
like just kind of real and very enjoyable. Woody Harrelson's awesome in everything always, and I
I
enjoyed
like
it.
Shang-Chi too. Is he good in this?
Yes, he doesn't do as much as I wanted. There's another
Okay.
guy who's like the main one.
He's the
And
one that I didn't know. I don't.
Yeah, Simu Liu is like
What's this
the
called?
diver who goes down with him,
Yeah.
and he's all just like gruff and kind of mean
Yeah.
and
I don't
just
know.
too serious for Simu.
I've never seen this man in my life. Oh, he's in one of the F movies. He's in F9. But I've never seen anything else he's in. His biggest thing is Last Breath.
After that was
Yeah.
Another Simple Favor.
Oh yeah, what'd you think?
I didn't even really like the first one. I don't know
Oh,
why I
I
watched
love
the
the first.
second, and yeah, it was still not a fan of it.
I kind of liked the second one with how freaking bat crazy it got.
It is pretty crazy.
And my sister and I got to make fun of Blake Lively the whole time of just being like, "Oh, so this movie is about her trying to sue someone because of something, and this isn't a real escapism for her in terms of filming in real life."
Yeah, method acting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's probably what it was actually. That's why she sued Justin Baldoni.
Yeah. Then I
Yeah.
watched Fountain of Youth,
Well, I do want to
and
watch that at some
that
point.
that is like my ideal genre, like
Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark type
Yeah.
adventure, going treasure hunting. It was bad though.
I'm sure it's not great, but I like John Krasinski
Yeah,
and I like Natalie Portman, so I'm not gonna
and
not
Isaac
watch it.
Gonzalez. The other guy. Who's the other guy? Wait, I can click on it. I'm gonna beat you. Dom Hall Gleason.
I like Domhnall Gleeson.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know
Mother's Milk from The Boys is in it
what I
in a
love him.
super
The
small role.
Toochmeister,
Tooch
Stanley
was in it.
Tucci.
Tooch was in it.
He plays
He was in
Elder.
it. He totally was in
I
it.
don't know Eliza Gonzalez. Oh, yes, I do. I've seen her.
But yeah, it was bad. It's just not well like thought out, I feel. I like the people in it, but no one was really trying it that hard,
Yeah.
and yeah, it just wasn't as adventurous as it should have been. Everything was predictable. Then friendship, which we'll get to, of
We'll
course.
get into it.
This
Okay, we're
episode's
gonna
about
get into it.
friendship,
This
guys.
episode's all about friendship. All right.
And after that, say it with me, hit 2025 movie Batman Ninja versus
Batman Ninja
Yakuza
versus
League.
the Yakuza League.
Yep,
Yep. Watched it 4 times, man.
bad. It was bad.
That's why I watched
But
it.
really cool character design and really good animation. It was just so so out there. Like what a concept. And yeah. For reference, they send this is a sequel. And in the first one, Batman, his like all his Robins and Nightwing get sent back to feudal Japan and just become like feudal Japan people, and they end up fighting in giant robots.
That's pretty cool.
And then in this one, there's an even crazier plot of Ra's al Ghul has turned that time machine into Japan floating in the sky from another dimension, and he turned the Justice League into Yakuza members.
Sounds a lot like Age of Ultron.
Yeah, so he basically rewrote history, and then
Nice.
Batman has to stop it.
Well, as Batman's wanted to do.
Yeah. After
Good for
that
him.
was Ballerina.
Well, how was it?
Pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good. Definitely holds up with the rest of the John Wick franchise.
I've never seen a John Wick.
What?
Yeah, they're on my
You
list.
should watch them all.
Okay.
They're none of them slack at all. And this one, I think, a little slow of a start for a John Wick, but once it gets going, and whew, that was a good movie.
Well, and you like Ana de Armas.
And I mean, yeah, Ana de Armas was in it,
Yeah.
and she is beautiful and awesome. So
Yeah.
I was locked in for that movie. And then the last one, Predator: Killers of Killers.
Oh yeah, was that the animated one?
Yep.
I've heard it's very good.
Well, here's the thing, Tucker.
Oh shoot.
Here's the thing. As self-proclaimed Predator fan, big fan.
Huge.
As in, I've
upset.
suffered through all the movies at least 3 times.
Yeah.
The Predator needs to win one of these days, you know? Like,
At some point.
there's some of them where it makes sense that the Predator loses. Like, in this one, it's like 3 separate stories that end up joining together, and they're all kind of good. But the Predator just, the more he loses, the less intimidating he gets. And
That's fair.
in my personal opinion, the only movies that a Predator should have lost were first one to Arnold, because Arnold's got a good plan and
And he's freaking Arnold.
he's smart. And then I think Prey, like, she's pretty smart. She
Yeah.
sucks at hunting, which I don't get how she gets instantly better for plot purposes. But she has her magic flower that turns her body heat off, so that's pretty good.
Good, very good.
And then this one, I think, Viking woman. There's a Viking woman in it, and she's
Nice.
awesome. She's so cool,
Yeah.
and she, as deserved, destroys the Predator. And then two ninjas beat a Predator, and like
Nice.
those were like, yeah, all
They're
right.
ninjas. What's he gonna do against a ninja?
And
You know?
then one guy beats a Predator in its modern aircraft with a like broken down old, I think it's World War II fighter jet. And it's just, no, come on, guys. God, what are
Yeah,
we
man.
doing here?
Yeah, man.
But then it takes them all together on the Predator's planet, and they're like gladiators fighting for Mr. Big Head Honcho Predator.
What?
And then they just get away, and it's stupid. They're surrounded, and what? Ugh, Predator's gotta win.
Predator's got to win. Maybe in the next one.
No. Wait, yeah, actually. The next one's like the Predator's protagonist, so maybe they'll actually.
Yeah, maybe that's your workaround.
We'll see. Hopefully.
I had one bit that I wrote down of the last 2 weeks of stuff I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
One thing I remembered to write down. And the note simply says, is Patrick ashamed of his son? Nope, not Patrick. Arnold. Is Arnold ashamed of his son? His son being Patrick Schwarzenegger.
I don't
And
think
here's
so. Why
Well,
would he?
but this is what I was thinking about. Like, Arnold's pretty cool, right?
Super cool.
And I really like everything I've seen Patrick Schwarzenegger in. Big fan. Think he does a great job, right? But I just saw a commercial the other day, and it's Patrick Schwarzenegger and Amy Lee Wood, who was also in The White Lotus season 3, and they're doing like a Cash App commercial or something, and it was like kind of cheesy and weird, and I was like, I don't think Arnold would have ever done this. And he's watching his son kind of dance around and change clothes on this commercial. And I get that it's like, oh, they're both in the White Lotus, that's why they're probably doing the commercial together. But like, I still was like, I would have never thought I would see a Schwarzenegger doing this at all.
Can I bring up a counterpoint for you?
Also, yes, but I also feel like this is mostly a bit. I just thought it was funny because in my brain, it just doesn't click. But I know Arnold's a goof.
Arnold has been in so many goofy things.
Yes.
Have you ever seen Batman and Robin? Goofy. Jingle All the Way? Shout out to Lucas on that one. He said it was a movie that's like not great, but he loves it. So I
Yeah.
watched it, and it's goofy.
Yeah. I've
Um,
seen.
Escape Plan? Goofy. The Running Man? Really goofy and really awesome. I assume Kindergarten Cop's goofy.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I just thought it was funny. It was a weird commercial to see Patrick Schwarzenegger in.
That's fair. That's fair.
Speaking of Patrick Schwarzenegger slightly, do you see they're doing another season of Gen V?
I did. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I like that show and I like that world.
Like that world a lot, yeah.
Hopefully
Are
they
they
get
doing any more The Boys soon?
last season comes out. Let me look it up.
Last season? They're done after this?
Yeah,
Interesting.
which is okay.
I like shows that end, you know?
I like shows that plan an ending.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not till
So-
2026.
A lot of respect for that.
That's why I'm a little bit nervous about the new Ted Lasso season.
They're making another one?
It's confirmed
Why?
they're making another one.
Why?
But now here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, John. Let's
No,
talk about
why?
it briefly. No, let's
Hey,
talk about it
why?
briefly. Here's the thing. I don't want it to happen, right?
Yeah.
They planned 3 seasons, and 3 seasons happened.
And it was awesome, and
it was
the
awesome.
ending's so sad and amazing,
But
and I
it's
love
so
it.
good. But here's the other thing. They left a couple things just open-ended enough to where it's like, if you plan for this to only be 3 seasons, what is the point of ending them like this? Everything, there should have been a solid ending. No way this can continue. We've ended it for 3 seasons, right? But they tease a woman's team at the end of season 3. There's the whole weirdness between Keely and Roy and Jamie at the end of season 3, where that's not really fully resolved ever. It's like, if your plan was 3 seasons, just fit you. The introduction of the women's team never had to happen, really. Like, that just kind of is like a separate side point that could now happen because you've talked about it, you know? Like, there's these little things that it's like they've planted that just doesn't make any sense.
The
But like,
women's
Ted's
team, is that
story
just
so good?
set up for someone else to have an ending?
No, it's like someone talks to Rebecca, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
someone just called you. They're interested in starting a women's team for AFC Richmond.
And I feel like that just gives Rebecca an ending, because then it's like implied she leads this women's team.
But not as a coach. It's just
as an
that the
owner, like
team,
she's
yeah,
done,
but the
right?
team she owns, but she already owns a team. It's not like she doesn't own a team. They're like, we actually want you to start owning a team. Like we want to add on to the stuff you're already doing.
I feel like that sets up a spin-off though, not a
Yes,
sequel, you know?
yes, for sure. And I was kind of expecting a spinoff, but they're saying it's Ted Lasso season 4. Now they could change it to it being a spinoff because there's
They
no like
should.
confirmed date or anything. But I think most of the people have signed on to come back.
Did Ted?
So I don't
Did
know.
Jason Sudeikis?
He maybe he's gonna show up. Like,
Then that'd be fine, you know?
it says he is confirmed that he's returning, but that who's to say? But who's to say? But John, who's to say for how much of it? You know, it's
Tucker,
like
this is very upsetting news.
think about it like this way: when they did the Full House sequel show, Fuller House, everyone was there for episode 1, and then we like never saw him again. So this could be, oh, Jason Sudeikis is back for 1 episode. You know, like it'll be fine. But I'm a little upset. I'm excited because I love that show, but I really liked how it ended for the most part, and now I'm scared they're gonna ruin it. So I guess we'll find out come whenever that show comes out. Why is my
Hi, Tucker's mom.
um? Emma's just checking in. How's everyone doing?
I just had to get my shirt in frame for a bit
Yeah.
because it's awesome.
Shall we talk about friendship?
Let's talk about friendship.
I do
think
have
it's a
notes,
cool
but we
thing
can do
people's
overall
have.
vibes really quick.
And I think people should have friends.
Oh, no, the movie. I don't
Next
want to
topic.
talk about.
Oh, the movie. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Initial thoughts?
So, leaving the theater, I liked it. And I still
Yes.
like it.
Yeah.
I think without Tim Robinson, I might have hated it. Because he's
Fair.
just so funny and he's
Yeah.
so good. And that movie at points is unbearably awkward and he does it so well. Of like, yeah, this is just Tim Robinson being goofy. I laughed almost the entire time. There might not have even been jokes. I just like
Yeah.
Tim Robinson so much.
Yeah, fair.
And yeah, I think without him it might have been a bit slow, but I settled at a 7 out of 10 because he is just so good in it in my opinion.
Yeah. I did like it for the most part also. I thought it was funny whenever they had the weird like choir orchestral music in the background that seemed like it didn't fit at all. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
It was almost like they filmed this whole movie and then they were like, "Oh shoot, A24 signed on. Can we just make it like a little weird sometimes?" Like, "Oh yeah, we'll throw in this soundtrack." They're like, "Oh yeah, this is great. It fits perfect." Or like a couple like weird moments where I was like, "These feel like a part of an A24 movie." Whereas the rest of this movie is so random and out there that it's like doesn't feel like like a normal A24 movie for the most part, but it's still a good movie.
Mhm.
It was just like, oh, they must have thrown that in there just for the weird fact. But I really did like it. I thought I liked everyone in it. Tim Robinson is very good. I think he's very much at like the awkward level of like a Steve Carell. Like a young Steve Carell doing awkward parts, you know? Like a dinner
Yeah.
for schmucks, if you will. Felt very much like a
Oh,
dinner
yeah.
for schmucks. Which is the only time ever in my life I was like, this is a lot for me. Because I'm usually pretty good about like the awkward stuff.
Mhm.
But Steve shows up and is doing his dang thing. And I was like, oh man, he's really good at this because I hate every second of it. So I feel like had this movie come out, you know, 10 years ago probably, like it would have been Steve Carell instead of Tim Robinson and would have had the same vibes.
I think Michael Cera is someone who also does awkward
yeah.
so well.
Yeah.
Of like unbearable levels at some point. Like super
Yeah.
bad. Wow. It's tough to see him get through some of that. But yeah, Tim Robinson killed awkward funny.
Yeah.
As he does, and I
Yeah.
should never doubt him.
No. And in fact, how dare you?
And Paul Rudd? Paul Rudd was in
Great.
this too. One
Yeah.
of the greatest like comedic actors ever, and in my opinion, just completely overshadowed by Tim Robinson being amazing.
Well, but also you have to like he's just also just not in it as much. So Paul Rudd has some
Yeah.
really funny moments when he is in it, but it's like 70% of the movie is just Tim Robinson, I feel like, which is great. But man, I wish I could remember any of Paul Rudd's bangers because there were a couple of them. But I thought he did a good job in it too.
Yeah, he did so good.
Do you want to attempt to go through my notes?
Sure, let's try these notes. Are they poorly put together?
Come on. Yeah.
Good. I would
you know.
expect no less.
My first note is about a different movie I saw a trailer for, The Roses. I'm very excited for Benedict Cumberbatch
Benedict
new flick.
Cumberbatch one? Yeah,
I think
I'm
that's gonna be.
intrigued.
I'm excited. I really like the idea of them saying bye to each other by saying "Stay curious." I wrote that down. I thought that was funny.
I said that to my friend as we left. It's
Yeah,
a
of course,
good
as you
line.
should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
It's just such a weird way to say goodbye. Like, it
Yeah.
makes sense and fits in context of,
Yeah.
like, stay curious
Like.
about the world, but
Yeah.
stay curious.
Hey, stay curious. Um. There. You have got to stop it with the Legos.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, viewers.
You're just really making this a lot harder than it's gonna have to be. Okay.
Here's the thing, Tucker.
Was it the wagon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just so awesome.
I
I
know
love
it is.
it, and it's right here, and I can't stop messing with it.
Yeah. Are you ready to keep going? I wrote down flowers in front of her face. I don't know.
She runs a flower business.
She runs a flower business.
She held them in front of her face at one point?
Probably.
Just trying to put some maybe
Yeah.
context to that.
No idea. I have no idea. I wrote down "Don't spoil it." I think he's very funny in his excessive no spoilering of things.
Anytime there's a Marvel coming out from now on, I'm gonna be like, dude, we should go check out that new Marvel. I've heard it's
100%.
nuts.
Yeah, it's so good. I was like, that's freaking. When I'm an adult and don't have time to go see Marvel movies on the opening weekend, if anyone walks in my house like, "Oh, did you see?" I'm like, "Nope, hey, oh, hey, Kay,
No
no,
spoilers.
no talking.
Get out.
We're not talking about it, all right?" That's what I'm gonna say.
As you should.
I'm gonna have that as like a cross stitch thing right in front of my front door. It's like, in this house we don't spoil Marvel movies,
Mm.
like that, you know?
I feel like I'm gonna come to your house and just spoil Marvels after
No,
that.
no,
Because they're nuts.
no. Then I wrote down. Let's talk about this for. Oh no, shoot. Okay, I wrote down weird kid. Pretty self-explanatory. Kid's kind of an oddball.
I understood that reference. It's when he kisses his mom.
Yeah, super weird. He's
That
an
was
adult.
weird.
You're an adult,
adult.
man. He's probably what, 16 or 17, right?
Yeah,
Too old.
because that's it's Shazam. It's
Yeah, it's the kid from not Shazam, but Shazam's buddy.
oh yeah, the disabled one.
Yes. Who's in something else? I don't remember what it is, but
But
Yeah.
he's too old to be doing that.
too old to be doing that.
Anyone who kisses their parent after the age of 6 months should be murdered.
You mean like that, or just in general?
Just in general, you shouldn't show affection ever.
I like that plan. This is what I want to talk about. So he's all hyped about this new Marvel, right? Let's address the elephant in the room. Who's a big Marvel guy these days?
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Oh,
Who do we think in this universe is Ant-Man? Like, if you had to pick one other person that's not Paul Rudd to be Ant-Man, who kind of fits that goofy, but like, not serious, but like, can also, not just straight comedy.
That's a really good question. It's strong.
I'm
Do you have any?
thinking-
Do you have any answers?
I don't know. I meant to actually think about it, and then I forgot because this was 2 freaking weeks ago. Because also you got to think about it. He is fairly old now, but doesn't look it.
Yeah.
Completely
Paul Rudd
different
doesn't
vibe if
age.
this is a real old guy doing this, you know?
Ah.
Like, so I'm trying to figure out, because he's 50 something, right?
Yeah.
So you got to pick someone that's old enough to have done this for the last 10 years, but not look almost 60 years old, you know? Or closer to 60 than most other people in the world. It's so hard to pick someone else that fits.
Off the dome,
Yeah.
I kind of think Jason Sudeikis could do it. And
Yeah,
I know we were
that's a
just
good
on
vibe.
Ted Lasso, but I think he can do the comedy and serious well enough.
I also had a little bit. This was my first name that popped in my brain that I thought made some sense. I think a John Krasinski, maybe.
I like that. I could see a John.
I love Jason Bateman. Get him up in there, you know? And I don't know. But I just thought the whole time, I was like, these movies exist in this world where this guy is also living. It would have been awesome had they made a joke about it, I think, and were very self-aware about the fact that he talks about Marvel
Mhm.
multiple times in this movie. Like 5 or 6 probably, right?
Yeah, it's a decent amount.
Like if there was just one joke where like when he meets him, he's like, "Hey, you kind of look like," he's like, "I get that all the time," and then like move on, right? Like just even something small like that would have been really funny, I think. But I don't know. It's so interesting. I wonder. This is what I'm gonna do actually.
Oh. Now one other idea off my head.
Yeah, yeah, hit me with them.
Is we throw it back to Wet Hot American Summer. Someone who was in it with Paul Rudd. Joe Lo Truglio, Charles from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, side character in Pitch Perfect. He is hilarious and I think would nail the funny Ant-Man side.
We're gonna play a little game. Okay, John, you ready?
Yeah.
This is a list. It's 10 people total. All right. 5 people that were. This says considered to play Ant-Man.
Okay.
Okay. And also 5 people considered to play Wasp at the end.
Oh.
Ant-Man list, freaking wild. Wasp list is like, okay. I don't know Evangeline Lilly well enough to be like, she's the only one that could have done it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But the freaking
She's not,
people
but
on the
she
Ant-Man
is
list
awesome.
are insane. All right? So I'm going to just give you the name of another movie they're in, and you can just freaking go through the list, okay?
Boom. I like this game.
Number 1. Also, I'm trying to make sure these people don't overlap in any of these movies, because I got them off the top of my head. Number 1, Inception.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Yeah, man.
I could
He's
totally
the first
see
one on
that.
the list. Possibly playing the role of Scott Lang, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. No stranger to reality-bending movies after his work with Inception. That's so awkward. I just came with that.
And
with that
he's got some funny times.
Yeah.
10 Things I Hate About You.
That was the one I
super
almost
funny
went
in
with.
that.
But he's good. I love that
500
movie.
Days of Summer isn't funny at all, but he is talented in it.
For The Dark Knight, one of them.
Dark Knight Rises. Come on, Tucker.
Dark Knight Rises.
He's not in The Dark Knight.
He's a voice in something. Probably.
Probably.
Okay. This next one's tough because I really don't want you to get it right away. Did you watch A Million Ways to Die in the West with us?
No.
We're going to go with Attack of the Clones.
Ewan McGregor?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Was considered to play Scott Lang before Paul Rudd was cast.
Now I felt something there.
Having
I
played Obi-Wan
could
Kenobi in the
totally
Star Wars
see
prequel
it.
trilogy, McGregor's familiar with long-term commitments.
He can get goofy.
He's freaking great. I mean, huge fan of everything that he's ever done. I was gonna say Train Spotting, but I figured that'd be really obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have gone. Oh, meaning him and old JGL share a role of Jiminy Cricket.
JL?
JGL, sorry. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh,
That's some
yeah.
shorthand for Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Right,
man.
yeah. I forgot you guys are tight like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Only his real friends get to call him JGL.
Yeah. I need to really quick. I'm gonna look up this guy to see if I can get like a good one that makes you think. Because you've nailed the first two, which is pretty upsetting to me.
I'm incredibly talented. It's just how I roll.
Okay. 2005 King Kong.
Adrian Brody?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Adrian Brody.
I don't know if, I just can't see that one as much as the others.
No, I can't at all. I think he's the one that makes almost the least sense. The last one is insane.
I think out of the people we've mentioned, he's the most talented. However, he just doesn't look like an Ant-Man to me.
No. And I don't think he would have... I feel like based off of vibes alone, he would have had no desire to do such a thing. You know? It doesn't feel like his thing.
Yeah.
To be in this kind of a world of things, I feel like he would want to do the weird artsy stuff more so.
He does.
He's
in a couple world things. Predators.
King Kong.
King Kong.
Um,
Is that it? He's
yeah.
in like all the Wes Andersons now.
Was he? I don't think he was in the one I just watched though. Unless I just forgot him, but I don't think I did. I don't think he's in it.
That would surprise me. He's been pretty big character for a while in the
Next up,
West
I'm trying
world.
to. Oh yeah, I'm trying to go off of just stuff I remember now because the picture-in-picture isn't working. So, but I want to be able to see you. I lied. Actually, I'm going to look them up. Let's see. Mission Impossible 4.
4, which of course we all know is Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
Who else would be in that? I don't think that's one you would have pulled Simon Pegg out of.
I hate you.
Why did you choose 4 for Simon Pegg?
I don't know because I looked him up on Google so I could find a good one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of the Mission Impossibles were there. And I was like, maybe if I make a specific number instead of just saying like Mission Impossible, you know, maybe a specific one will confuse him. You know what
Well,
I
I
should have
figured-
said? You know what I should have said?
Shaun of the
Star
Dead.
Wars: The Force Awakens. Make you think
Right,
about
because
it.
he cameos in that.
Make you think about it a little bit. You know?
With Daniel Craig.
Yeah. All right, you ready for the last one? This one, freaking wild. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I need to make sure this is right because I think it is
Simon Pegg playing Ant-Man would be wild.
insane. Right? Makes
Yeah.
more sense than an Adrian Brody, but still crazy.
I would like it, though, I think.
I think so too. I think you probably do a great job. Are you freaking ready for this?
Oh, I am freaking ready.
I'm gonna give you grown-ups.
Alright. We'll just work our way through the main people. It's not Adam Sandler.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
not-
You ready for this hint? You ready for this hint?
Yeah, it's not Steve Buscemi. It's not Kevin James.
He was offered the role. He was their first pick to play Ant-Man. And he had to turn it down because of his commitments to another movie at the time. I'm not going to tell you what that movie is because I don't want to help you out too much.
Is
Had
he
I
a
read
big
ahead,
role
though,
in Grown Ups?
been a long time since I watched Grown Ups. I will say
me
this.
too. That's where I'm
When
struggling.
you guys, we've talked about this movie before, and he always gets brought up when we talk about it. I did not remember him being in this. But it also has been years. I'll tell you this, he's not one of the main 5.
Okay. And we all know Salma Hayek's in it, but it's obviously...
Can't pick her. This is Ant-Man.
It's not her. She's that one Eternal that we all know and like.
Ajax,
Right. Yes.
obviously.
And her big role in the Marvel Universe.
Do you want to hear what movie he had to turn it down because of?
Yes, yeah.
This isn't really actually going to help at all, I don't think. Hotel Transylvania 2.
Andy Samberg?
Not Andy Samberg.
That was someone on my mind when we were coming up with people.
Interesting.
Hotel Transylvania 2. See, the thing is, that's also like all of Adam
Yeah.
Sandler's friends still.
Yeah.
Like Kevin James is Frank. Steve Buscemi's the werewolf, I
Wolf
think.
guy. Yeah.
Someone else is the Invisible Man. Funny, that's not the... Steve Buscemi also is a werewolf in Hubie Halloween. And
Really?
I think that's worth mentioning.
I haven't seen Hubie Halloween. Maybe I'll watch it one day.
Is it a
Maybe I'll make
typical Sandler buddy?
Yes. Do you want another hint of out of the Sandler verse?
Let me think on some Sandlers real quick. Not Carl Weathers.
Freaking how awesome would that be, though?
What'd you say?
It would have been freaking cool, though.
Yeah, that I would like that.
Do you want another hint outside?
Terry
of this?
Crews, final answer.
No, it's not Terry Crews.
Dang it. Alright, give me another hint.
Armageddon. Have you seen Armageddon?
No, I know Bruce Willis is in it, but that's
Okay,
it.
I can give you a different one. I'll give you The Big Lebowski.
John Goodman and Jeff Bridges.
Have you not
John
seen The Big
Tutrano?
Lebowski?
I
you
have.
seen- Okay, no. Think about people that are also in those other 2 movies.
Those are all the people I remember from Big Lebowski. It's Tutrano, Bridges, Goodman, and Buscemi. I'm missing someone big here.
Have you for 1 second considered that the answer could just be Steve Buscemi?
Steve Buscemi.
Can you freaking imagine the first pick? When they were like, hey, want to do Ant-Man? They're like, dude, you gotta get the Bush man on this.
Yeah, I would. If I was a casting agent, that'd be what I do.
Now, okay, wait. Let me hit you with this really quick because, again, I didn't proofread this list. right? I just searched it up and decided to play the game.
Of course.
It starts off by saying, unsurprisingly, Steve Buscemi was not considered to play Scott Lang, though he's in the list of people considered to play Ant-Man. He was their first pick for Michael Douglas's part, which is also crazy.
Wow. Good for the Bushmeister.
Good for the Bushmeister. All right, do you want to try Wasps real quick?
So Steve Buscemi was the last one?
Yeah, he was the last one.
Wow.
I may just go down the list really quick because I don't want to do. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Number 1, Jessica Chastain.
Yeah. Talented.
Marvel initially offered the role of Hope Van Dyne Jessica Chastain, but she turned it down after reading the script and being unhappy with how the character was portrayed. Chastain went on to appear in a much worse Marvel movie, the non-MCU X-Men entry Dark Phoenix. So I guess good for her on that.
Is she Phoenix in that one?
No, she plays
Jean Grey?
Vuk. Obviously.
So she did very well for herself after that.
Yeah, very well. Next up on the list, Emma Stone.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not surprised she turned it down. She only really does, like, artsy stuff.
This says she was considered for the role of Hope in Ant-Man before Evangeline Lilly was cast. I don't know if she was ever initially offered it, but she was considered.
Yeah. I don't think she would have taken it.
This was another consideration, not one that was doesn't say offered, but Rashida Jones.
Interesting.
I like
that one fits more.
Yes, it does. I think so. I think out of the list so far, she would be my first pick.
Yeah.
And the final person on the list of hopes is Bryce Dallas Howard.
They were really going for redheads here, huh?
2 previous Gwen Stacy's thrown in the list for Hope Van Dyne. Pretty crazy.
Interesting.
So there's that in the middle of our friendship talk.
I like how they were just like, those are really talented actresses they all got.
Yeah.
Or were interested in. And they like, Wasp is important for a couple movies, but not like you need an A-list star, which even Evangeline Lilly is huge.
Yeah.
And
but I think you have to think through a little bit when you're making like a world like this of going, but we need someone that is good and will stick around for when they become something bigger, you know? Like, yeah, she's not like huge in the first one, but then she gets the suit in the second one is like a huge part of it, you know? Like, you don't want to get some rando for it the first time.
And I just can't imagine most of those people locking in for Marvel. Like, Emma Stone is in so much, and
yeah, but she did 2 Spider-Mans.
Can't see. She did do 2 Spider-Mans.
Yeah, that would have actually been crazy. Rashida Jones, though, solid pick. I would have been okay with that. Had she shown up in that first trailer, I would have been like, okay, she's there. What was I gonna say? Oh, really quick before we move on, this is a little bit off that. Did you see in a recent interview, Sebastian Stan said that when he signed on for Bucky in the first Captain America, right? Are you tracking so far?
I'm tracking.
He was told Bucky becomes Captain America.
That's wildly disappointing.
From the get-go.
And I think Bucky should have.
I kind of do too. And I love Falcon. I've always liked Falcon. But Bucky would have been really freaking cool as Captain America.
And, like, comically, Bucky does get the shield eventually.
Yes.
Even Hawkeye gets the shield.
There's still time.
But I don't think it'll happen anymore.
Maybe
I feel like
Sam
they missed
dies
their
in
chance.
Doomsday, and then Bucky's like, "Don't worry, guys, I got it." And then he's going to be here till he's 90.
Much too important at this point.
100%. He's like they're building off of him a little bit.
Yeah.
In the future, it seems like.
And
but I just
Bucky's
thought that was crazy.
in his little Thunderbolts thing, which already has 2 Captain Americas, pretty much.
Yeah. But for them to be like, yeah, it's gonna be great. You know, he does this. He's the Winter Soldier. He's Captain America. Like, in like a list of other things that he would do someday, presumably. And then just kidding. Actually, we're gonna give it to Sam, which is still cool because I love Sam, but kind of sucks now looking back on it, knowing that was like not promised, but like hinted at happened from the beginning.
Yeah.
You want to jump back to the list of notes to finish off?
Oh yeah. Friendship.
I wrote down
is all about friendship.
This one's all about friendship. I wrote down Weatherman, and I do remember writing that down because he's an anchorman also.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do weather, but he's shifted gears slightly.
Right?
Sports guy. He's a big sports guy. Wait. No. David Kushner's the sports guy. isn't he?
You're right.
I think Paul
He's
Rudd's Man
Champ.
About
That's
Town.
Champ. He
I
does
think he
what?
like the Man About Town. He goes out and does
Uh,
stories, right? Because Steve Carell's
just
for
like
sure
this
weather.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wrote eating there alone every single day.
Of course, Tim Robinson eats in his office alone every day. That's why he wanted an office, so no one could see the weird food he's eating.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's what I was thinking.
I hold a lot of respect for that. I also would like to eat weird food alone.
I wrote down what color would I get?
Lightsabers. What color would you get?
Green, I think. Can I say this? I think green, and then every time I see like a really good blue lightsaber, I'm like, nope, that's pretty sweet actually. So I don't know. Maybe white like Ahsoka. I wrote down Ocean View Dining. I think that's the place where he buys his clothes.
That is the place where he buys his clothes, which is an awesome plot element of him
But
so
also-
excited to go back to Ocean View Dining.
Pretty weird. I think the idea of
Yeah.
it is weird. Why is it called dining if it makes clothes? Is
I
it
think
a
that's the
restaurant
point.
that
Is
happens
it
to
is a
sell-
restaurant?
But they
I'm
just
picturing
sell
like a
shoes and
Trader
pants?
Joe's.
Can I tell you this? But with the word dining, it sounds like a legit sit-down restaurant,
Yeah, like Trader
not like
Joe's,
a shopping. Nope, Trader
Trader
Joe's is not a
Joe's.
sit-down place. They want you to leave at some point.
isn't it? I thought they invite you, sit you down, get you breakfast,
Nope.
and then
Nope.
send you through the gift shop full of important white people household items.
I feel as though you've not been to a Trader Joe's.
That is correct.
Okay, great. Wrote down weird cut. You know?
Yeah, it was.
The
Yeah.
only thing I can think of is there's that one weird moment when nothing else like this happens the rest of the movie, where they're sitting and talking, and then there's like space behind them, and it's their heads in front of like space, as he's like explaining to him the history of the artifact or something he got,
Yeah.
and then like
Ugh.
nothing like that ever happens again, except
I
for
like
that moment. I did too. I just thought it was very random, and I was like, this doesn't really fit with everything else in this movie, but it's awesome. You're a freaking prince. There's that for you.
Yeah, thank you. I am.
I wrote down, I think we should do fight nights.
Okay.
I don't know why we haven't.
Yeah.
Or maybe you guys had at one point and I never did one, but I think we should. Okay. Oh,
There
because yeah,
There
yeah,
was
yeah,
some
yeah.
fight nights.
I think we should bring it back.
Who would you fight? Who do you think you could fight?
I don't know. Here's the thing. I feel like I would do an okay job when I was like ready for it.
Yeah.
But like
But
in
right
like, a
now-
situation where it's like the deal is we're fighting.
Yeah. You fight someone in our friend group right now for fun.
I'm just gonna say Lucas so I can win.
Well, yeah, okay.
He's
Lucas-
wiry.
He's a feisty little guy.
Yeah, he's a feisty little dude.
We
And I feel like he's saying that because I know he's not listening to this right now.
you sure? Lucas, if you're here, email me.
Email John. He has a Yahoo email, so figure that one out. I think you and I would have an okay fight.
You think you would win?
I don't know.
I guess
I
we'll
think it
have
would
to
get
fight.
called due to time, and that there, just whoever performs better.
Yeah.
Let's go our Oh, yes. When he goes back to Paul Rudd's house post fight night, and Paul Rudd's like, I don't think we should be friends anymore. I don't think we should do this. The fact that he does this all while he's dressed for the Ren Fair, awesome, legendary, love it.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a nice bit.
It was like I listened to a little bit of like Pam and Angela from The Office did that podcast, or still do that podcast where they like talk about Office things, right? And they were talking about the first Halloween episode where Michael has to fire someone. Do you remember that? They were like, that whole episode was born off of like an idea board where it was just like, wouldn't it be funny if Michael had to fire someone while he was dressed up in costume? And they like wrote the whole episode. I was like, that feels a little bit like this, where they're like, it'd just be kind of funny if they had to have like a really serious conversation, but Paul Rudd's dressed up for the Renaissance Fair.
That
I thought it
checks
was
out.
really good.
It feels like some of this movie was Tim Robinson's sketches that he was like,
Yeah.
these deserve to be more drawn
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I wrote down walking around the house is wild. He just like breaks into their house fully.
Yeah,
Is
pretty
kind of
awesome.
insane.
And the gun he found, super cool.
Pretty
I
cool
want
gun
one.
though. I just wrote down house phone. How many houses in the year of our Lord 2025 have a house phone? Do you have a house phone? No way do you still have a house phone. John's walking through his house right now. It's very dark.
If
in
you
his
look
kitchen.
right there,
Yeah,
house phone.
that's... Oh, it's 901. Nice. That's insane. Does it work? Do people call it?
So it works.
Do you call people from it?
No, they only use it to like give the number to scam people, I think. Like, when you're
Yeah.
applying for free stuff, they're like, here,
Yeah.
take this number. Wink, wink, wink.
wink.
We'll answer it, and they don't.
Yeah. That's insane. I don't think in my lifetime, I don't think my house ever had a house phone.
Really?
Yeah.
That was like my main form of reaching my friends as a young lad.
That's crazy.
I would call my friend who lived over the hill and ask if he
Over
wanted
the
to hang
hill.
out
Yeah.
on his home phone. And,
Why didn't you just
yeah.
go on top of the hill and have like a ram's horn?
Well, we didn't have the psychic link to just meet up there, We needed
fair.
our home phones so we could reach each other.
That's fair, I guess. This. Oh, okay, I remember. I said calls. I can't believe he left her.
Is this at the end?
No. No, we can talk about that in a minute. When he tries to take her down in the pipes, first off, crazy that she went missing like that.
Yeah, she
Insane
just
from the
runs
get-go.
away.
And then also, I guess doesn't she's like, you left me down there. But like the fact that she didn't hear him when he was calling, it was pretty loud down. Like the whole
Yeah.
situation is wild.
I
If
like how
my wife got lost in the pipes and I knew she was somewhere in the pipes, I would not be like, guess I gotta go home now. Hope the police find her. Like I feel like I would just be down there the whole time.
Yeah.
Insane that he's like, I gotta go back.
Well, she was her and
Yeah, but still.
kind of
But-
cheating on him for a bit.
Hey, best twist of the movie though, that freaking hairpiece, man.
That caught me off guard
So
for sure.
funny. Was not ready for that at all. That was
And
awesome.
I really like how it plays into the climax at the end.
Yes. Oh, so good. I think I remember this happening, but I just wrote down like Hulk. Remember him? And I thought that was a funny sentence. I think it's when he tries to have the guys from work over, and they're talking about stuff in the garage. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're talking about stuff I don't remember. I think he says it, and I just thought it was funny. Then I wrote down, what a switch up. Oh! The guy shows up, and they start chatting, right?
Of course.
Like, the guys from work leave the garage. This is the most I've ever remembered off my notes, I think. The guys from work leave the garage. Then one of the dudes from the party is like, oh, I'm just looking for the bathroom. Oh, hey, you're her husband, right? And they just start
Yeah.
chatting, and then he's like, how does it feel to be a freaking loser who lost your wife in the sewers, you idiot, you dumb... And he, like, goes off on him.
And then he's like,
Dane.
if I had a woman like that, I would never leave her, all that
Yeah.
stuff, and we should still be in Vietnam.
Yeah. Crazy. He's insane. That line was really good. We should still be in Vietnam. So that was insane. T-Boy with my hair down. Goated.
Lick the toad.
Goated.
Lick the toad.
I
Tucker,
wrote,
would you try Toad?
oh no, probably.
I tripped for years and
Or I go to
Maybe out a
one
couple minutes.
Subway. That actually, a couple notes down, it says brief Subway commercial. Because really, that whole scene, no real information. I mean, it's very funny, but it's just
Yeah.
him talking in Subway, like, and then it's just done, and it's
Yep.
hilarious.
great scene. I loved the Toad bit.
It's so funny. I did write down, I think this is important to note, the old Paul Rudd in that, probably what a normal person his age looks like. You would have to think.
Yeah.
Like, if Paul Rudd looked like that today, I'd be like, yeah, makes sense. He's that old. Maybe
How
without the
old
super
do you
gray
think
hair.
Paul Rudd is?
5.
Did you look it up?
Nope.
All right. How old is?
He's close to that if he's not.
You fool. He's 56.
No! That's insane, though.
Yeah.
Like,
He looks like he's low 40s, if
high
that.
20s, maybe.
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe without the super gray hair, all over, but the way his face looked, I was like, that's what I would believe him being like that almost, or closer to that than he is now. I need you to lock in for like 20 more minutes. Stop yawning. You're really bringing
20
down the energy
minutes?
of the podcast.
Ugh. 20 minutes?
I'm almost done. I wrote down having 2 girlfriends is killing me.
Yeah, because disabled guy from Shazam has 2 girlfriends, and he's like, ugh, so much money. This is awful.
Yeah, that's right. And then Tim Robinson's like, "Yeah, man, I can see how that would be a problem," without ever really saying anything about it. I don't think.
Yeah. I just like
Oh,
how
that's
what
the
would
next
be
line down. Having two girlfriends is killing me financially. Yeah,
yeah.
that's what it was.
What would be big issues like that in Tim Robinson's house just
Yeah,
don't matter. Like the wife going to see her ex repeatedly many times,
yeah.
having two
Super
girlfriends.
crazy.
Everything like I don't know, a normal dad would probably say something about. He's just
Yeah,
like, I'm having fun with my friend.
yeah. I wrote down, I'm not scared of you. I bought a van today.
Buying a van's scary.
It is scary now.
You
Honestly,
ever
if you
bought one?
you can do. Have I ever bought a van?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, me either. But
I can
because
only
it's so
imagine.
scary.
Um, I thought that was funny. I kind of remember that happening. I don't fully remember who he's saying he's not scared of, but I remember it.
It's the guy at the bar when him and his wife are getting like
Yeah,
back together for her son's birthday,
yeah.
and the guy at the bar bumps her, and he's like, "Hey, you think I'm scared of you?" Hmm?
Yeah, that's right. I wrote down a new Marvel. I don't know why I wrote it down this far down the list. Feels
They
like
talk about it
we
again.
talked about it a lot. And then I wrote down Jimp.
Is that a gene chimp?
No, in my brain, I feel like I remember him meeting someone and being like, "That's your name? Your name's Jimp?" And he's like, "Yeah, my name's Jimp." But I also,
That does sound right. I think that
but I
happens.
don't remember exactly when that happens.
Jimp.
Also, I didn't note it, but I do just really briefly want to talk about how freaking insane the end of this movie is. Because for 2 seconds, you're like, "Oh, everything might work out,"
I was
and then
so
he
happy for
decides,
them.
no, he's gonna screw it
Yeah.
all up.
I was so happy for them, like
Yeah.
finally figuring things out. Tim
Yep.
Robinson becomes normal for a
Yep.
second, and oh, they're gonna be a happy family, watch a movie, and then he's like, "No, I'm gonna go break into this house."
And then threaten to shoot them.
Yep.
And then does Paul Rudd like him at the end of the movie? He like winks at him in the police car. Like
I think
that
Paul
whole
Rudd
moment
kind
was
of
kind of weird.
understands of like this guy's crazy, but he just wanted friends,
And I think he maybe gets
he's
that he
looking out for
means
Paul.
well because he does the whole thing where he helps him with his hair again at the end.
Yeah,
You know, I don't know. Overall, though, great time, good flick.
great flick. I enjoyed my cinema visit. I laughed a lot,
Yep,
and
I loved the freaking subway bit was maybe my favorite. When he gets out and the dude's like, "How was it?" He's like, I just went to Subway. I just ordered a sandwich at Subway." He's like, "Yeah, man, the toad works in mysterious ways."
I had a guy in the theater behind me. Of he was just commenting on like how dumb everything was, and I think that made it better. Of like obviously a lot of things that happen in this are just so
Yeah.
outrageous, and he was like, "He just left her in the sewers. What's going on?" Just like voicing the audience's thoughts.
Can you imagine that you get done with that whole movie, some guy stands up, "That's not how licking a toad works." Guys, honestly, if you want to lick a toad, I'd tell you all about it.
Yeah, probably someone out there was on Toad.
Probably.
Do you just carry the Toad in your pocket?
No, I think you carry it in a Ziploc bag in your pocket.
Anyone who does Toad, please
Yeah, if you've
contact
ever
us.
licked
Let us
Toad,
know
educate
how it
us
is.
on how that works. Hey, what movie do you want to watch next week? I think there is a chance of me going to see Life of Chuck,
Mhm.
and I also am probably going to see How to Train Your Dragon with a friend of mine, which I know you don't want to see. But I do think you'd probably want to watch Life of Chuck.
Are you fully set on another new 2025 movie?
Kind of, but I suppose it doesn't super matter.
Is The Materialist next week?
Is The Materialist next week? Because I desperately want to see that movie.
I will be seeing that opening night. I love Celine's song after just one movie.
June 13th. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna see The
Yep.
Materialists
So we're going to see The Materialists. Yep.
and
Done
cry
deal on
a
that
lot.
one.
I
Pretty
think.
easy. No, don't say that. Also, okay, really quick, let's type up Materialist for 2 seconds. That line in the trailer of him being like, "When I look at you, I see wrinkles and kids," is so good.
That's not even
What?
okay. That's you said the line, and I was like, "Is he gonna say the one I'm thinking?" That's not even the line that gets me. It's
What's
the
the
one
line that gets you?
Chris Evans says.
You're gonna.
No, he asks Dakota Johnson like, do you think I've changed or something? And she was like, no. And he was like, I was hoping you would say I would, so I wouldn't be the same guy who lost you.
Oh,
Those,
I don't think I've ever seen that. There must be a trailer I missed somewhere. 'Cause that's oh,
But anyway, I
don't wanna
am
cry at this movie.
super excited, and I think I'm gonna watch Past Lives within the next 2 days.
I think I may
prepare
watch it
myself
tonight actually.
mentally and emotionally. So maybe we'll do a double header of Past Lives
Yeah.
and The Materialist.
Yeah, I'm
A
down with
Celine Song filmography episode.
that. All right.
I'm
Oh,
gonna cry.
shoot, we gotta throw something at the screen.
Piece remover. Good. This large thing I've been messing with for a while.
All right. Hey everyone. Did you just break everything?
No, of course not. Anyway, stay weird.
What'd you do? I think we lost John.
Hello, Tucker?
What's happening? Okay. And maybe I fixed everything? John, you're gone. John, are you back? I just got a text from John saying, did it end okay for you? Well, on that note, everyone. What is this? Spring cleaning? No. My camera broke. Oh, maybe back? Okay. What is this? Spring cleaning? Peace mover. Nailed it.